Революция. Reminiscing, I feel you near. Once more, you're my love of yesteryear.
Coming to you live on tape from the Farmland Community Center in historic downtown Farmland, Indiana, it's Tom Sherry's Old-Time Radio Show! When radio was king of the airwaves and everyone sat around their Philcos to listen to their favorite programs. We'll be bringing many of those beloved shows back to life as we recreate the classic scripts from the golden age of radio. And greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, Radio Rangers! Welcome to the show. Well, it is ladies' night here at Tom Sherry's Old-Time Radio Show. What does that mean? Well, the drinks are half price. The women's restroom is a little bit cleaner than usual. And we're going to be featuring some of radio's Wonder Women. Yes, first off, we're going to start off with those riotous roommates, Jane Stacy and Irma Peterson, on that classic radio comedy, My Friend Irma. Later, we're going to introduce you to Hellcat Hattie, a wild woman with a wild tale to tell on Tall Tales from the Old West. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Plus, something we call bird calls. But first, let's begin with My Friend Irma.
My Friend Irma, created by Cy Howard and starring Angela Dick as Irma and Wendy Carpenter as Jane.
My roommate, Irma Peterson, is a girl of, well, let me describe her this way. She walks around like she's got the world on a string, but she can't remember where she put it.
Jane! Jane, where are you?
Right here, Cookie.
Oh, Jane, wait till I tell you.
Now, take it easy. Just take it easy. You know how rattled you get when you're excited.
Oh, I'll be calm.
Now, what's this all about?
Well, you know my boss, Mr. Clyde, is married.
Of course I know.
Well, now they have a horse.
A horse?
Yes, and after all these years...
What are you talking about?
Well, Mr. Clyde always wanted a racehorse, and he bought one.
Yeah, but... Go on, honey. I think I'm starting to make contact with you.
Well, this Saturday, Mrs. Clyde has invited us all to be her guests at the racetrack.
Oh, yeah? Isn't that nice?
Yes, Mrs. Clyde says we're going to watch the horses run in a box.
I see.
I suppose poor Mr. Clyde spent so much money on the horses, he can't afford seats. So we'll all have to sit on boxes.
Oh, honey, it's not that kind of a box.
Oh.
Tell me, what's the name of Mr. Clyde's horse?
His name is Laughing Boy, and I'm sure he's going to win. You know, as they say at the track, he'll come in on his nose.
Oh, yes, you know all the terminology.
Naturally, Jane. I should know all about these horses. We have plenty of them on our farm in Minnesota.
Oh, did you?
Yes, why, many a morning I ran into the house screaming, Daddy, come into the barn. The old gray mare has just had another calf.
Irma, that's a colt.
Jane, you know so little about these things. A colt is a boy. A calf is a girl.
So what's a stallion?
Oh, it's a little white onion with a long green top. Most people call them green onions, but they're really called stallions.
I guess we learn things all the time.
Glad to help.
You know, Cookie, the more I think about going to the races on Saturday, the more excited I get. course, I've never won anything in my life.
Well, you have to have a system. Now, when Laughing Boy runs, I think I'll bet him, room and board.
That's across the board. It means you bet win, place, and show. You understand?
Naturally. I'm sure if he shows up at the right place, he'll win.
No, that's not quite it. Honey, win means first, place is second, and show means he came in third. Irma, now tell me the truth. I know you were raised on a farm with horses, but have you actually ever been to a horse race?
Oh, just once.
And you understood everything that went on?
Why, certainly. What do you mean?
Well, for instance, did you see them take the horse into the winner's circle and put the wreath of flowers around his neck?
Oh, does that mean he won the race?
Why do you think they put the wreath of flowers around his neck?
Oh, I thought he just got back from Honolulu.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Cookie. Since you don't know your way around and I don't know my way around.
Well, maybe Maestro and Mrs. O'Reilly can advise us. Mrs. Clyde wants me to invite them too.
Oh, that's great. That's what I'm saying. We can take all of our money and put it in a pool.
Oh, no, Jane. We're invited to the track. Why should we go swimming?
Honey, just tell me how much money you would like to bet.
Oh, about $10. $4 I'd like to bet on the horses that pay 40 to 1.
I see.
And the rest I'd like to bet on long shots.
Come in.
If you don't mind, it's me, Maestro Wunderkind. Hello, Janie and Irma, my two musical masterpieces. One a Strauss waltz, the other the Nutcrackers.
Maestro, how much money have you got?
Money? You mean the money I have on me, or the money I keep hidden under my mattress? Or the money I have in the bank?
Well, altogether.
$7.42. That's not including government securities.
Government securities?
I have 3 2-cent stamps I haven't even touched yet.
You must forgive her, Maestro. It's her enthusiasm. Mr. and Mrs. Clyde have invited us to the racetrack this Saturday, and this includes you and Mrs. O'Reilly.
Oh, isn't that nice of them?
Yes, Mr. Clyde has a horse called Laughing Boy, and I think we all better bet on him.
It all depends on how he got his name. Does he laugh after the race, or does he stop to laugh at horses in front of him?
That's a good question, Maestro. Do you go to the track often?
Often, I wouldn't say that. Naturally, being a musician, like all true musicians, horse racing is below our cultural level. We haven't got time to take our minds from the classics for such nonsense.
Oh, I understand. Laughing Boy is going to run 1.25 miles.
A mile and a quarter? He should do it in 2:10. Track record is 2:06. Going off at 5 to 1, pay about 10.30 to win, 6.40 to place, 2:10 to show. Barring photo finishes in a muddy trial.
I thought musicians didn't know much about horse racing.
This is just some dialogue I picked up on a sheet of music in the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Maestro, you're not fooling anybody, and I'm with you. How's your luck?
Well, sometimes it's not bad. Last year, what a streak of luck I had. I won the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th race. If I had any money left, I would have won the 8th race, too.
Well, Jane says that we should take all our money and put it in the water.
She means pool our money.
Well, that's a good idea. We'll have a bigger bankroll to start with. Irma, tell me, have you seen this horse, Laughing Boy?
Yes, he has the same brown eyes that my owl has.
Do they shift from side to side, too?
Yeah, it's a hunch. If this horse is anything like Al, we have to bet on it.
What do you mean?
Have you ever seen Al take off? I once saw him running away from his landlady, and I guarantee he did the mile in less than a minute.
Well, I'll leave it up to you, Maestro. Irma's putting up $10, and I'm putting up 10, and it'll be up to you.
Put your arms around me, honey, hold me tight. Cuddle up and huddle up with all your might.
Listen to that, Mrs. O'Reilly. Put your arms around me, she says. Who can she find with arms 10 feet long?
Yoo-hoo! Anybody home?
Oh, come on in, Mrs. O'Reilly.
Hello, girls. Hello, Maestro. Dear boy, I'm afraid you have competition. When I thought I brought the ash cans out this morning, Mr. Sweeney from across the street whistled at me.
Well, I hate to dash your hopes to the rocks, Mrs.
O'Reilly, but he broke his glasses last night and only whistled at you because he thought you were the garbage truck. Pick up his trash, too.
Now, don't you go making any remarks about me. Oh, by the way, girls, how do you like the way I'm wearing my hair?
Oh, it's very nice.
Oh, that reminds me. You're invited to the horse races this Saturday, Mrs. O'Reilly.
Yes, to see the other dang tail.
Now, what's this all about?
Mr. Clyde bought a racehorse, and Mrs. Clyde has invited all of us to the track this Saturday.
Oh, glory be. I haven't been to see a racehorse since I was a wee little girl back in Ireland. Every year we go see the running at the Irish sweepstakes.
Sweepstakes?
Yes. And Irma, no, they don't race on brooms.
Are you going to be doing any betting?
Oh, sure, why?
Oh, I don't know how to describe it, but I have a way of talking to the horses.
I guess if you can't get anyone else to converse with you, you have to resort to horses.
Did you know you can tell a horse's age by counting his teeth?
I know.
One more remark from you and you'll be counting your teeth in your hand.
Now, come on, you two. Let's not get into any arguments. I want us to all have a good time at the races. Personally, I'm very excited about the whole thing.
Me too.
By the way, Irma, do you know who the jockey is going to be?
No, but I hope it's Mickey Rooney. I once saw him ride in 3 races, and he won them all.
What movie was that?
It was the same one. It was raining outside, so I saw the picture over and over, and he won every time.
Too bad you couldn't have placed a bet. You'd have cleaned up.
I know. I looked all over for an usher.
Come in.
Hiya, folks. Hello, chicken.
Hello, Al, honey.
What's new, chicken?
Mr. Clyde has a horse running Saturday, and he invited all of us to be his guests at the track.
Chicken, your boss owns a racehorse?
Yes, and he's the sweetest thing.
Now, wait a second. I just happen to have a racing form here in my shoes. You say the horse's name is Laughing Boy.
That's right.
Here it is, Laughing Boy, out of Sleepy Valley by Rip Van Winkle. Sounds like a real peppy family.
Has he won any races?
Let me see. According to this, the only race he won is when he beat the trainer to the feed bag.
Mr. Clyde wouldn't buy an old animal. He's very particular. Remember what I went through before he hired me?
Now, let me look at this nag's record. Let's see. In his first race, he came in second. In the second race, he came in third. The third race, he came in fourth. The fourth race, he didn't show up. The fifth race, he finished first, but that was really in the sixth race. You know something? This don't seem as good as Governor Bonds.
Well, maybe the horse is just the curious type.
Curious?
You know, the kind of horse who always stays in a position so he can see if the other horses are wearing tails too.
Chicken, I want you to find out a few things about Laughing Boy for me.
What, Al?
Well, for instance, find out if he's a hay burner who likes a fast track, or is he a nag who likes to hug the rail, or is he a good mudder?
All right, I'll ask Mr. Clyde.
Now, what are you going to ask him?
Is he a fast trail burner who likes to hug the hen? Is he good to his mother?
No, chicken, look. Why is it every time I put some plain, sensible words in your head, it comes out like it was in a free-for-all fight and you lost?
Well, why don't you just stop trying to work angles? We're all going to the track to have fun, and that's all.
Jane's right. Gee, I better get to work. Mr. Clyde may be expecting me to come early today.
Why, what do you mean?
Well, last night when I locked up the office, I'm not sure whether he left first or if I did. Good morning, Mr. Clyde.
Good morning. How are you, Miss Peterson?
Well, I'm a slow starter, but be careful in the halfway post because I really get going when you stretch me.
What are you raving about?
Well, it's racetrack talk. I want to be ready Saturday when Laughing Boy runs.
The Laughing Boy isn't running Saturday.
Why not?
I'm getting rid of him. I bought a new horse, Dancing Girl. Hottest thing on 4 legs.
But what about Laughing Boy?
They sold me a lemon. He's too old. I'm getting rid of him.
Getting rid of him?
Yes, he's kaput.
Kaput? Are you selling him?
Not exactly.
Is he being put out to pasture?
Not exactly.
Well, if you're not going to sell him and you're not putting him out to pasture, then... Oh no!
Well, we are all excited about going to the races Saturday. Really excited. Sweetie, what's bothering you?
Oh, Jane, I'm worried about Laughing Boy. Is there any way he could be cured?
Cured? What's he got?
Kaput.
No, Irma, darling. Kaput is not a disease. It's just an expression.
An expression?
Yes, like if Mrs. O'Reilly was wearing a bathing suit, someone might say, "Here comes Sweetie Pie."
Why, Maestro, you silver-tongued devil.
See, it fooled you. It happens to be an expression used by circus people. Sweetie Pie was the name of a famous elephant.
Why, you old flea-bitten monstrosity. You should talk with that bushy hair and long nose. You look like an anteater eating a feather duster.
Oh, I'm so worried about Laughing Boy. Jane, what do they do to horses who are too old and too sick to run anymore?
Why, I guess they either put them out to pasture or they send them to the, well, it's nothing for you to worry about.
Yes, there is.
There is not.
It's no use, Jane. I know when you're holding something back. You always look out the window and polish your nails.
Well, what's so unusual about that?
With your gloves on?
Say, that's a pretty dress you have on. It's very becoming.
It's my slip. Please, Jane, now stop stalling and tell me the truth.
Irma, please don't bother me. I have things to do.
Maestro.
Janie, you got a nail file?
Mrs. O'Reilly, you're my friend. You'll tell me.
Oh, boy, B, just only 249 days before St. Patrick's Day, and I haven't a thing to wear. Better go and do some shopping.
Hey now, wait a minute. Nobody leaves until I find out.
Oh, honey, what are you getting so upset about?
Well, none of you people know Laughing Boy, and I do. When I was down at the stable, and he's sweet, and he's pretty, and I know he's such a good friend, and if you ever needed him, he'd work like a horse for you.
Oh, Irma, please.
I just can't forget Laughing Boy's expression. He looked at me in the eye as to say, "Irma, what are they going to do with me?" And I'm looking at you all in the eye, the way he looked me in the eye, and I just want you to answer. What are they going to do with Laughing Boy?
Yeah, well,
Well, now, let me put it this way, dear Irma. What happens to people when they get too old?
they dye their hair and they lie about their age, right, Mrs. O'Reilly?
You be still, banana nose.
What Mrs. O'Reilly is trying to say is that, well, when you become old, infirm, Irma, have you ever heard of Valhalla?
Is that near Valley Forge?
Now, let me handle this because it requires delicate and tactful handling. Irma, darling, there's nothing to be excited about. I'm sure they won't send Laughing Boy to the glue factory.
The glue factory?
Boy, that's what's real delicate.
He's going to the glue factory?
Irma, darling, please, listen to the old maestro.
No!
Please, listen. We know you feel badly about Laughing Boy, but after all, you're not doing anything to him.
And according to Mr. Clyde, that new horse dancing girl looks like a sure winner. So why don't we concentrate on her and leave well enough alone?
No, you're so cruel, all of you. That's why you don't know what this means to me. You never loved a horse or owned a horse or been around a horse.
Irma, how can you say I've never been around a horse?
Take your arm off my shoulder.
Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. Clyde. Yes. Yes, Irma's here. What? Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell her. Saturday? Oh, sure, we'll be there. Thanks. Bye. Sweetie, that was your boss. He wants you to come down to the office. He has some extra work to get out.
I'm not going.
Now look, Cookie.
No, I don't want to have anything to do with him. Any man who would send a sweet horse like Laughing Boy to the glue factory. Could you imagine what he'll do with me when I get old too?
No one's going to do any such thing. I'm sure Laughing Boy will be all right. Oh, Irma, Saturday's supposed to be a fun day. Mrs. O'Reilly's right. We should plan on betting on Dancing Girl.
You're just like all the rest. All you can think about is the money.
No, Irma, it isn't like that at all. It's just that Dancing Girl is a filly, and we must cheer for her because she's just like us. She's a member of the weaker sex.
If she's as weak as you are, she'll probably pick up the grandstand and run with it.
I don't care what any of you say. I'm not going to the races, and I'm not going to work for Mr. Clegg. He's a glue factory monster.
Irma, don't get dramatic. You have a job. Now, why don't you just go to the office and maybe Mr. Clegg will tell you what he's going to do with Laughing Boy.
All right. I'm going to put it directly to him. And believe me, if he's going to mistreat Laughing Boy, I'll report him to the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. You know, the YMCA.
Well, Miss Peterson, you finally got here.
Came as fast as I could. I grabbed the first bus I saw.
Then why has it taken you over an hour?
It was the wrong bus.
Well, never mind. I have already typed the letters I want to dictate. Just put them in the envelopes and be sure they're glued.
Glued?
Yes, glued.
Murderer!
What?
You know what I'm talking about. When you get tired of someone, you send them to be glued.
Miss Peterson, how did you get in this condition? Did you take dizzy pills every morning?
No, Mr. Clyde, I don't have to take pills. I'm not hydromatic.
Hypochondriac. Oh, forget it. Look, I have to leave town. I won't be back until Saturday. I want you to do something for me.
Yes, Mr. Clyde.
I want you to go to the track and tell my trainer to enter Dancing Girl in the race.
What about Laughing Boy?
I have other plans for him.
But Mr. Clyde.
Some other time, Miss Peterson. I have a plane to catch.
Mr. Clyde,
I'll
please.
see you later.
Mr. Clyde.
Goodbye.
But what about Laughing? He's gone. I can't let him do this to Laughing Boy. Oh, this must be Laughing Boy's stall. There he is. Hello, Laughing Boy. Isn't that sweet? He recognizes me. Gee, I wish you could talk, Laughing Boy. Mr. Clyde, he wants to get rid of you. Calling him names won't help. He wants to make glue out of you. Why, if he does that, I'll never lick another stamp in my life.
What's that?
Oh, gosh, you can talk.
Of course I can talk.
Oh, it's you.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Henderson.
Oh, you must be Mr. Clyde's trainer.
That's right, miss. What are you doing here so early in the morning? Is there something I can do for you?
I'm Mr. Clyde's executive secretary, and he said, by the way, who's the other horse that keeps looking at Laughing Boy?
Oh, that's Dancing Girl. I haven't had orders officially yet from Mr. Clyde, but I think he wants me to race her instead of Laughing Boy.
Why?
Well, Laughing Boy just doesn't seem to have any spirit left. The last workout I gave him, he barely made it to the track. What does Mr. Clyde want me to do with him?
He wants you to run him in the race.
Are you sure?
Yes, he has other plans for Dancing Girl.
I can't see why he wants to run Laughing Boy. Believe me, this nag would be laying down right now if he wasn't in such a narrow stall.
Well, don't worry, Mr. Henderson. He's what you call a sleepwalker.
If those are Mr. Clyde's orders, I'd better go out to the office and put his name in as an official entry. Bye, miss.
Bye. See what I did for you, Laughing Boy? Now you must win the race or I'll lose my job. I see you want to go over and see Dancing Girl. Okay, come on. Maybe if you had something to run for. Now you're going together. How sweet, just like me and Al. If you really want to make her proud, you'll win
Maestro, you better hold me hand so I don't get lost.
Nothing doing. They might think I'm the jockey. Oh, this way, Janie. I see Irma.
Oh, yeah, she's with Al and Mr. Clyde. Irma!
Well, kids, I hope you put a good bet on Dancing Girl. I know that horse can't lose. There's an $8,000 purse on this race.
An $8,000 purse? I can't see why you'd need such an expensive pocketbook.
Hey, wait a minute. Isn't this supposed to be the race?
That's right. It ought to start any minute.
Well, I don't see Dancing Girl up on the board.
Oh, you must be mistaken. Miss Peterson,
Yes, Mr. Clyde?
look up there at the board. They've got Laughing Boy up there instead of Dancing Girl. Miss Peterson, what have you done to me? I'm ruined. Of all the morons, I had to pick the prize one of them all. I can't bear to look.
And they're off and running.
You're probably mistaken. If I know Laughing Boy, he's only out in front because the other horse's second time around.
Don't worry, Beanie, look at him go.
Go, boy, go!
Oh my gosh!
Come on.
Oh, look, he's winning!
Miss Peterson, how did you do it?
Well, he was lonely, so I got him a girlfriend.
He won!
Only because he was lonely.
What do you mean he was lonely, you wonderful idiot?
I married him to Dancing Girl. That's why he ran so fast. He's anxious to get back for the honeymoon.
My friend Irma! Sorry, the conductor is James Stacy. And living as Irma. I think we're all set. For the following program, please stay tuned. Lousy intro, but you know.
You're listening to a special kind of public radio, WFEH, serving East Cumbria and the lesser parts of Bodie. Stay tuned for bird calls.
Good morning, and welcome to Bird Calls, the public affairs show about bird calls and the people that enjoy them. I'm your host, Hank Metcalf. Our first guest today is Calvin Porter, one of the mayoral candidates for Center City. Welcome to Bird Calls, Mr. Porter.
Thank you for having me on the show, Hank.
Mr. Porter, the new mayor of East Cumbria is going to be facing a number of challenges when he takes office. Unemployment is high, our infrastructure is crumbling, many of our public officials are under investigation by the FBI, and City Hall was recently destroyed by swarming grasshoppers.
That is the bad news. But here is the good news. I am the man that's going to right those blights.
Of course, my question to you is this. What's your favorite bird call?
I beg your pardon?
Bird call. Your favorite bird call?
I don't know. I don't think I really have one.
And you're running for public office?
Bird calls are fine, but I would rather talk about the changes that I hope to implement when I get elected mayor.
Would you like to hear my favorite bird call?
Well...
It's the mating call of the scarlet-throated thrasher.
Oh, I see.
Now, the throaty thrasher.
Very nice.
You interrupted me.
Excuse me?
You interrupted my bird call. I wasn't finished.
There's more?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was a two-parter.
The scarlet throated thrasher. No, the scarlet throated thrasher. My next guest is the executive director of the East Cumbie Community Theater, Leslie Wilkinson. Welcome to Bird Calls, Miss Wilkinson.
I'm so excited to be here. Let's talk theater.
Indeed. I understand your new season is focused on the work of William Shakespeare.
Yes, but not traditional Shakespeare. You see, I've rewritten a few of his plays to be more child-friendly, with a few musical numbers thrown in that will give me the opportunity to play my guitar, which I know our audiences enjoy.
Of course, my question to you is this. What do you think was Shakespeare's favorite bird call?
I don't have the faintest clue.
Of course not. After some massive research on my part, I have determined it must have been the Stratford-upon-Avon Titwaggler, and it goes something like this.
I brought my guitar. Would you like me to strum along?
No. The Stratford-upon-Avon Titwaggler. And now it's time for my favorite part of the show, where we shine the spotlight on amateur bird callers. Today's amateur is from Fairmount, Indiana. Please welcome Clifford Lowe.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Now, Clifford, I'm excited to hear your bird call, but let's get to know you a little better. Who is Clifford Lowe?
Oh, well, I work at a local banking institution. I like to write scripts for short films, and in my spare time, I like walking my small dog.
On second thought, let's move on to your bird call. What do you have for us today, Mr. Lowe?
I would like to do the call of my favorite bird.
The floor is yours. Please proceed.
Okay, here I go.
What the hell was that?
My favorite bird, a Rhode Island red. Here, I'll do it again.
Get out of my studio!
What's wrong?
Get out of my studio! Security!
Hey, let go of me! Let go of me!
We appear to be experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
And stay up! I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today's bird calls. Join me next time for more bird calls and the bird callers who make them. Until then, let me close with a choice warble from a mountain-back booby.
You've been listening to Bird Calls. If you want to hear more quality programs on WFEH, age, please give us your money so we can air them. I'm serious. We need your money. Otherwise, we're stuck with shows like Bird Calls. I don't want shows like that. Nobody, I tell you. Security! Special kind of public radio.
And now it's time to introduce you to Hellcat Hattie. Hellcat, take it away.
I'm Hellcat Hattie, and you're listening to the Tall Tales of the Old West. And today's tale is called Showdown in Tedium. And what exactly is Tedium? Why, it's the most boring town in the Wild West, and here's the story to prove it.
Wallaby Doc, the usual, your best vodka. In a glass or in a bottle? Oh, let's be optimistic. In a glass. On its way.
Evening, Doc.
Hello, Eustace. How's business?
Dead.
Makes sense. You're a mortician.
A soon-to-be out-of-work mortician.
Things that bad?
I should say so. I haven't had a customer in 5 months.
You have to be joshing me. It's been that long since someone died here in town?
I haven't had a lick of work since Thaddeus Fulton got kicked in the head by his mule.
Oh yes, Fulton's fatal folly.
Ever since then, his death has dried up. Of course, I blame you for that, Doc.
And what exactly did I do?
You're keeping the fine citizens of Tedium hale and hearty. They're too healthy. That keeps me in the red.
Well, I apologize for being such a good physician.
Apology accepted.
Barkeep, I'll take that bottle now.
Throwing a party, Doc.
Evening, Miss Lolly. Our tricks.
Lousy. And my saloon is barely doing any better.
You got a good crowd in tonight?
Well, true, but they're not touching the hard liquor. They're mainly ordering sarsaparilla. And friend, that's not where the money is.
At least you're making some money. I'm so poor at the moment that I'm about to rob a church mouse for a crumb of bread.
Well, that's crummy.
Things are bound to get better for you, Eustace. Deb has to visit Tedium again eventually.
From your mouth to God's ear.
Barkeep, give me another sarsaparilla. Pronto!
Uh-oh. Wolverton is back in town. You know what that means.
Just what I need. To be stuck in the middle of another barroom brawl. I hope you nailed down all of your chairs and tables, Wally.
Oh, there's no need. I told that big lug if he caused another ruckus in my establishment, he'd be banned for life.
And he's been towing the line ever since?
He knows I'm a woman of my word. Ain't that right, Wolverton?
Whatever you say, Lolly.
Damn straight.
What in tarnation is that?
In my medical opinion, it sounds like a whooping crane with a whooping cough.
No, that's just Sage Pureheart.
Good evening, citizens of Tedium. I'm here to celebrate some glorious news with you all. I just struck oil on my land. Of course, when I say drinks, I mean glasses of milk. After all, alcohol is the drink of the devil, and I will not quench his thirst.
I am not running a dairy, Pureheart.
I would never confuse you with a milkmaid, Miss Lolly. Here, this sum will surely cover my tab.
Oh, goody. Milk money. I'm now set for life.
That Sage Pureheart is one lucky man.
He's rather wealthy, too.
I heard he's quite the ladies' man as well.
He's also generous to a fault, kind to everyone he meets.
I really hate his guts.
You need both.
Friends and neighbors, as you drink your milk, I will happily serenade you with a song or two. Yes, I understand. 2 songs are not nearly enough. 3 it is.
No, there's no need to entertain us.
But I insist. The joy in my heart must be shared with others. Now, where is my ukulele? Oh, yes, I left it in my saddlebag. Have patience, music lovers. I'll run out and get it.
Well, but as bad as luck would have it, Pure Heart ran into Wolverton instead.
Hey, watch it.
Oh, my apologies, friend. Forgive my clumsiness.
You made me spill my sarsaparilla.
So I see. Here, please take my handkerchief and clean it up.
And you got some nerve tossing your snot rag at me.
I assure you it's rather clean. I believe cleanliness is next to godliness.
I'm going to clean your clock.
Hold your horses, Wolverton. Remember what I told you.
Listen to the woman. There's no need for violence.
Why?
I mean it, Wolverton. You cause any disturbance and you're blackballed.
Fine. I'll rearrange this fool's face outside.
Nonsense. Pure hearts do not engage in fisticuffs with common ruffians.
So you're a coward.
A coward? Sir, you insult my honor.
I'll do more than that to you, you highfalutin chicken gizzard.
That does it. I challenge you to a duel.
That sounds good to me. Name the place and time and I'll be there.
Tomorrow at high noon on Main Street. Bring your best revolver.
I'll bring any type of revolver I want. You can't tell me what to do. You're not boss of me.
Perhaps not, but I will be the death of you. So until we meet again, I bid you adieu.
Enjoy your night, coward. It'll be the last one you'll ever have.
Congratulations, Eustace. Your dry spell's about to end.
Soon a new day creeps into view.
When you look at this mess of humanity, it seems like folks have crawled out of the woodwork to see the showdown.
Can you blame them? This is the most exciting thing to happen in Tedium in a long time.
And it's doing wonders for my business. My saloon has been busy since the crack of dawn.
My business is about to increase as well. In a matter of minutes, my funeral parlor will have at least 1 new occupant. Oh, I do pray it's Pure Heart. I'm sure his kin would insist on a lavish and expensive interment.
Watch it, Eustace. You're practically salivating at the prospect.
Oh, this is so thrilling. I've never seen a showdown before.
Well, this is a surprise, Miss Larch. As the town schoolmarm, shouldn't you be teaching the children at this very moment?
Well, I am. We're on a field trip to see the duel.
Don't you think taking children to see violent gunplay is rather unseemly?
I understand your concern, Doctor, but all of their parents signed permission slips.
Miss Larch, is it all right if I close my eyes when the shooting begins?
Of course, little Opie. There's no shame in being squeamish.
Where is he? Just where is that yellow-bellied polecat? My trigger fingers get mighty itchy.
Maybe Pure Heart won't show. Maybe he is a coward.
Yodelay-hoo, yodelay, yip, 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 yoo.
A man who does that out in public may be a lot of things, but a coward he ain't.
Sorry to keep you waiting, friends and neighbors, but I have some bad news for you.
Me too. In a few minutes, you're going to be dead.
What's your news, Pure Heart?
I'm afraid I must postpone the duel.
What are you yabbering about?
My dear mother is feeling under the weather at the moment. She took to bed with the vapors and will be unable to attend.
So what? You need her to hold your hand and wipe your nose, Mama's boy?
Of course not. But she so wanted to be here. She was looking forward to the moment I defended our family's honor and sent Wolverton to a fire afterlife.
Sounds like a fine woman.
So I propose we postpone the duel until Mother is feeling better.
What? I never heard of such a thing.
Can they do that, Miss March? Can they?
I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with showdown etiquette.
Now, friends, I understand your disappointment, but a slight delay won't hurt anything.
And how slight will this delay be?
1 week.
Unacceptable!
Unheard of?
We're entering new territory, boys.
What say you, Wolverton? Do you agree to my proposal?
Please say no, please say no. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please say no.
Fine. I can wait 1 week. Besides, I want your old lady to be here and see me finish your fool's life once and for all.
Excellent. We'll resume our conflict 1 week from now at high noon.
Agreed. Give my best to your mommy.
In the meantime, I invite all bystanders to join me at Lolly's saloon. The milk is on me.
What do we do now, Miss March?
I guess we come back next week, little Opie.
No expensive funeral this week. Dagnabbit.
Don't lose heart. Maybe Mother Pureheart is about to kick the bucket.
My luck, the whole family is immortal.
But just like that, the week passes into history and the town tedium once again awaits a showdown at high noon.
Can you believe it? It looks like this crowd is even larger than last time.
Well, word has gone around about this postponed showdown. Folks want to be part of it in some way.
Fine by me. My saloon was packed last night and I'm exhausted. I was up all night servicing my clientele.
I guess that explains your bedhead.
And my bed back.
Hello, Miss Lolly. Hello, Doc.
How have you been, Eustace?
Terrible. It's been another deathless week. I think the Grim Reaper has erased tedium from his map.
I think your luck is going to change, my friend.
Will there be any bloodshed today, Miss March?
I guess we'll have to wait and see, little Opie. Say, that looks promising. Sage Pureheart is here.
And so is my mother.
Kick his ass, Sage.
Mother, please, mind your language.
Your father was right. I raised a prissy.
But where's Wolverton?
There he is, little Opie, loping our way.
Why is his hand wrapped up in bandages?
What happened to your hand, Wolverton?
Oh, I sprained it, and it's my shooting hand, too. I guess we're going to have to postpone our showdown again.
What a shame. I was so looking forward to this day.
Wait a minute. Are you sure it's a sprain? I could gladly look at it for you, Wolverton.
You stay away from me, Doc, unless you want me to sprain your face.
Yes, you're right. Your hand is sprained.
So, what do you suggest we do now, Wolverton?
Reschedule the showdown for a couple of weeks so my hand can heal up properly.
Well, sounds good to me. We'll meet again in 2 weeks at high noon and settle our blood feud. Please have patience, my friends. I assure you there will be a duel to sate your bloodlust. Just not today. Now, who's in the mood for a tall, refreshing glass of milk?
Miss March,
Yes, little Opie?
I'm starting to hate those two men.
Well, the 2 weeks passed quickly.
So here we are again. Do you think it'll happen this time around, Doc?
I certainly hope so, at least for poor Eustace's sake.
Death is still on a holiday?
And it's driving our favorite mortician loco.
Somebody please die. Anyone, young, old, I don't care. Please, just die.
That man scares me, Miss March.
He scares us all, dear.
Attention, friends! Wolverton and I have some news for you.
When will the shooting begin?
Hush, little Opie.
I'm afraid our duel must wait until yet another day.
No. Say it isn't so. No.
You see, I'm contended with a mighty powerful toothache.
And I'm having issues with hangnail.
So we decided to move our showdown back to next week.
I'm doomed to never see a showdown. Doomed, I say.
Well, we understand your disappointment.
Well, we really think it's for the best.
Thank you for your patience and have a blessed day.
That does it. The next time Pure Heart orders a glass of milk, I'm spitting in it.
They can't do this to me again. I need their business. I need a dead man in my parlor.
Calm down, Eustace. There's no need to get all worked up.
But I need a dead man in my parlor. I need a dead man in my...
Eustace!
Goodness gracious, that poor man fainted.
Finally, some action.
Doc, is he all right? Is he?
I'm afraid not, Miss Lolly. Eustace is dead.
Then another week comes to pass, and Main Street is full once again with citizens and onlookers.
So, friends and neighbors, after a few weeks of reflection and consideration, Wolverton and I have decided to make peace.
It makes sense. After all, I forgot what started this whole showdown mess anyway.
It doesn't matter, my friend. Cooler heads have prevailed. There will be no duel.
And that's when the citizens of Tedium pulled out their guns and shot down Wolverton and Pure Heart in cold blood.
Do it again.
You've been listening to the tall tales of the Old West, and today's tale was Showdown in Tedium. Join us next time for another outlandish story from the American West, and until then, remember this. It's better to be high on the horse than low in the ground. And this is Hellcat Hattie. I urge you, humbleheads,
Of the Old West. Hellcat Hattie. Thank you, Hellcat.
You're welcome.
And it's Hoopleheads. Hoopleheads.
Hooplehead, what the tarnation is Hooplehead?
Oh, no, folks, I have some bad news for you.
What?
This is the end of this episode of Tom Sherry's Old Time Radio. Before they ride off into the sunset, how about a hand for our wonderful cast, Wendy Carpenter! Squad, Judy Cole, and Cliff Lowe. And of course, Jeff Shaw was Lord Scrumptious. Watching our little fiesta of festive. Until next time, we'll see you on the radio.
Reminiscing, I feel you near. Once more, you're my love of yesteryear.
cherry flavored.